It was probably ordinary life like for any other kid. I grew up, I went to school. It was in Western Ukraine. Then I eventually went to Lviv State University in the city of Lviv. It's in Western Ukraine as well. I graduated right before we came to the United States. One thing that I do remember that struck me as a kid was end of 80s, early 90s, when the Soviet Union was about to collapse and broke up. It broke up in 91, but in Western Ukraine we had that feeling that it's going to happen before probably 88, 89, 90, and that was something that struck us, that a lot of people had that feeling that we are done with that Soviet stuff, we are done with that Russian pressure on us. I was dating my now wife, Ivanka, and I didn't know anything about green card. I didn't really care about the US. When she applied for green card, she applied when she was single, obviously. We had to do our marriage certificate as soon as possible. That's how we got married. When we went to US Embassy in Warsaw to get final permission, I guess, to get to the US, they were kind of looking at us suspiciously because she applied as a single and now she's married. It does raise some suspicion, but my wife was, I remember, I think 6 or 7 months pregnant. The problem was actual movement from Ukraine to Poland, because we had, I remember, 4 or 5 big suitcases. Polish customs were looking at us kind of suspiciously. Why are you having that many bags? And why do you do this? Why do you do this? And when we showed that we are trying to apply for green card, it got easier, but we still had a lot of problems. And if I may remind, my wife was 8 months pregnant, so she was stressing out about everything and anything. On our way to the United States, we knew that we were going to come to Chicago, because my wife's relatives were in Chicago. So first, at least that hardest time, when you go to another country, if you don't know anything, if you don't know anybody, that would be probably hardest part of anything. So we came in May, and our daughter was born in mid-June. So that was another thing that we didn't have in Ukraine back then. Health insurance, medical bills, and everything else. So as soon as I got here, I had some basic English. So we had to go through hospitals, we have to talk to social workers, we have to explain this, we have to do that, and that was eye-opener for me to see how American society works, because when you come into a new country that really doesn't have to offer you anything, you understand that there's actually a lot of support, there's a lot of help. As soon as I came to the US, I started working, but eventually it didn't take me long to figure out that I need to get education, because you have to use your brains more than your hands to achieve something, especially in the United States. Because my diploma from Ukraine, it was great, it was international economy, but it didn't really work here. Obviously, education is not free, so one of the ways for me to go through was to join military. So I joined Illinois National Guard. That would give me access to college for free. That was my plan, but then the US invaded Afghanistan. I switched to active duty after that. And since then, I've been in the military, in the US Army. Well, my daughter moved 8 times. She's been to 2 continents. She's been to 76 schools during her time in elementary, middle, and high school. It does take some toll on them. I've been in the military for 22 years. When it comes to tragic 2014, the first Russian invasion to Ukraine and Crimea, I was really devastated about that news, because me, from my experience, being in Iraq, Afghanistan, I know that it's really easy to start the war, but it's really hard, and it takes much more efforts to stop, because when you shed first blood, it doesn't stop there. February 2022, we were here in Minnesota. There is a great and huge Ukrainian community, and they welcomed us. So it was the first time for us to experience civilian life, probably like anybody else does. Believe me, it's different. I know for you it might sound strange, but it is different. So with that comes the fact that we were able to get involved more in help, especially in the first days when it comes to help Ukraine provide some humanitarian aid. Somebody has to pack it, somebody has to move it from one place to another place, and that's where you need actual hands. When it comes to military life, more often than not, I have to be away from home if I was told to do it. That's why I really value my time with my family. That's why I really like to spend as much time with family as I can. Also, since we travel a lot, we enjoy to travel and explore other places. It happened when we were in Germany. We did travel a lot. It was great. One weekend you can go to Vienna, the other weekend you can go to Paris. Different country, different people, different way of view on life. And as long as you're open, as long as you're trying to be absorbing, as long as you try to absorb something else, that would really benefit you.